It's my belief that if you don't bring the standards of the school up to other surrounding states, that they won't take you serious. It is just like El Paso. I spent 2.5 years there, and it was really a weird town between basic training and AIT. And but the town worked around the army base, and they seemed to be more civil with the out of town people. People were coming from everywhere, and as long as you didn't break the law and you didn't go over to Juarez and get arrested trying to bring marijuana back or something, or just getting robbed over there, you basically had a pretty decent army career where you could concentrate on growing up to be a man. Having your responsibilities with nobody looking out for you, and you do something wrong, you have to deal with the consequences and stuff. And it was really an important time. That's what I don't understand about college today is people going there to get as high as they can get, try drugs that you only have to try one time to get hooked for the rest of your life. And at that's the time I believe that the mind should be the clearest, so you can get it. The first time you won't miss the message. But things have changed over the years. Now I can tell you, people that won't participate in that getting as high as they can get in sororities and hazing is West Indians, African people, Chinese people, because they're trying to be the best that they can be, and if they can't make it, then it's not because they didn't try. But you seem like here and now in today's time, it's an entitlement. It's a place to send your kids off to, so somebody else can put up with their butt, and you can go on with your life like you never had any kids, and you hope the best for your kids. That's why mothers cry when their daughters go to college, and dads too. I don't have any kids, but I imagine it to be for that reason. But you can condone them. About 2 generations was where I really noticed it, and it's almost hereditary now. It's almost accepted now, just like a lot of things. Marijuana's use, people coming out of the closet and stuff, and all of us, uh, dealing with them, and they're being respectful, and even racism. You can get the most prejudiced guy. Like I was in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and I shared a sandwich with the Area Nation guy. We call ourselves running off to get high. When we in the rehab, it's $24,000, 30,000 for 24 days, and the VA paid for it. And I went up there, but as long as you know not to cross his line or he cross your line and stuff, it's nowhere in the world you can't go. You have to be an open person. You can't be with these stereotypes of different people, and you haven't had a chance to check it out for yourself. But you've only had to go by what your parents told you, and they could be wrong about something and feel so bad about it, but it's embedded in you to believe it to be the truth. And how disappointed you are at the end of your life cycle when you find out, wow, you know what? I could have learned a lot from that nationality. I could have learned a lot from them. You know, I've been trying to help since I got up here, and I admire the law enforcement up here. I like to help them in any way I could. because I didn't talk to police in Chicago after I got slapped at 14 years old, following my brother around in Bobby Chappelle's bar. Just because he thought I was a tough guy. I was just a 14-year-old kid, big. I just wanted to go home and go to sleep because I'm following my brother around. And he's the dope dealer, the pimp that was back with Yellow and Silky Slim and all them. Anybody from Chicago know what I'm talking about. But anyway, they only have to go by what you've taught them. And later on, when you find out, just cause, just like I had to learn this in Phoenix. When people say, look, I'm your friend, they're really saying, you're my fool. You're my fool. When they say, I'm your friend, that's what they mean. You're just a fool to them. Because half of the time when something happens to you, it's your friend that did it, so-called friend. But anyway, a lot has happened to me since I got off of this thing, and man, I had an episode where I thought a caffeine overdose, and these memories and thoughts. Man, I was outside with some knives about to kill somebody, and there wasn't nobody there. And the police in Phoenix, with their training, came over, calmed me down. 3 911 calls, just somebody going to jail. They ain't got no time to be playing with your helicopters every time. Those guys did a good job on me, man, and I've been in the house trying to live down those 3 911 calls. Wouldn't even be on my phone because I'm hearing voices, all over a caffeine overdose. Like drinking coffee, just coffee, and I noticed it killed the hunger, and I had that much food in the house, and I get the idea that I'm gonna just sip on this coffee and I get to my next check. It ain't no excuse. A couple of months ago, it was I was thinking about Cool Hand Luke with all those eggs, so I get the idea to supplement my food with just eating some eggs, boiling them, scrambling them, whatever. Those eggs almost killed me. Almost stopped up my intestines. I was in the bathroom crying. So I'm still a young kid because when I got out of the service at 26 or whatever years old, the very same night my brother got me hooked on cocaine, and I was hooked for 30 years as his slave, working on race cars and riding race bikes. Isn't that something? And so my mentality stopped in El Paso. I stayed over in 1982, from 82 to I don't know, 80, 84, something like that, 83. And so I'm a young kid at that mentality now, living in Phoenix, 30 years after the event of me trying a drug for the first time and being hooked for 30 years. So you tell me, when you go to college, am I so different from anybody else where I tried crack and I didn't know what it was? That was called freebasing then. Am I so different from anybody else with the drugs that they got out now, that just because you're smart and you go to college that you can live without them? Chemicals have a certain effect on a body, and I don't care what kind of body it is. You know what? We're all alike. We die the same things. We live like we live, and but we bleed the same color. And until you understand that, Phoenix, because you're 20 years behind the thinking of other cities, and you're losing out on the knowledge of these people coming in your town from out of town. You should welcome them in, and instead of trying to juke them out of fundraising money and stuff. I got y'all down to a monetary donation. Until Texas had that disaster, you got that black football player to raise $180,000. You had those Phoenix police and firemen show up in Texas, and they was like, well, we don't know what to tell y'all to do. Y'all ain't got the right equipment to do nothing. and then you didn't hear no more from him. That money never left Phoenix. It went over to that store, and from that store it was divided up. Now that's why Ducey's having so much of a hard time now studying, approving the marijuana. He should have did that. He used the fundraising money, $3 billion, I think it was, where he didn't have to raise the taxes, and he paid the state debt. Now, since he's getting people thinking, and I'm saying stuff, and other people are saying stuff, they're saying, "Hey, wait a minute, wasn't he a crook before he got governor with some people's investments?" He always say investments. Listen to him, investments. He invested a pay raise for him, his staff, and gave the teachers nothing. But that's what you get for electing him. Thank you.